Good evening. The San Dimas City Council and Successor Agent meeting will come to order. Thank you guys, everyone who came and enjoyed the reception that started at 6:30. Madam City Clerk, could you please read the roll?
Councilmember Bertone, Mayor Pro Tem Bertone.
Present.
Councilmember Ebner.
Here.
Councilmember Viana.
Here.
Councilmember Weber.
Here.
Mayor Behar.
Here.
The record will reflect all council members are in attendance.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oral communications on certification of the election results. Members of the audience are invited to address the certification of election results and the council installation. At a point later in the agenda, the public will be able to speak on items both on and off this agenda. But this time is reserved specifically just for the certification and election results on council installation. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing to speak to the council, please come forward. I like it. Thank you. Okay. Councilmember Bertone, if you got anything you'd like to say to us.
Well, that's all I'd like to say is that I said my goodbye last week, and so I'll keep it short. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank the voters of San Dimas for allowing me to represent them for 34 years. It's been a real honor, and it's been work, but it's been a lot of fun. And I can just say thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Mayor Bedar and Councilmember Viana for being reelected. It's well-deserved. And as far as Eric Nakano, welcome to the city of San Dimas, Eric, and I'm sure you do an excellent job. The city is very lucky to have which is a very good council, and I think they'll work together as a team, hopefully not as individuals, but as a team to do what is best for the city of San Dimas. So the last words I have to say is thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and good luck to everyone. And this is a great city, and I'm sure it'll do well. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Madam City Clerk, would you read the resolution?
Resolution 2022-42. A resolution of the City Council of the City of San Dimas, California, reciting the fact of the general municipal election held on June 7th, 2022, declaring the results and such other matters as provided by law. Whereas a municipal election was held and conducted by the Los Angeles County Register Recorder, County Clerk in Norwalk, California, on Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, as required by law, and whereas notice of the election was given in time, form, and manner as provided by law, that candidates were nominated to fill the vacancies as provided by law, that voting precincts were properly established, that election officers were appointed, and that in all aspects the election was held and conducted and the votes were cast, received, and canvassed. The returns made and declared in time, form, and manner as required by the provisions of the Elections Code of the State of California for the holding of elections in general law cities, and whereas the Los Angeles County Register Recorder, County Clerk, canvassed the returns of the election and has certified the results of the City Council. The results are received and attached a part hereof as Exhibit A. Now therefore, the City Council of the City of San Dimas, California, does resolve, declare, determine, and order as follows: that the whole number of ballots cast in the precincts except absentee voter ballots was 1,863. That the whole number of absent voter ballots cast in the city was 6,323, making a total of 8,186 ballots cast in the city. That the names of the persons voted for at the election for mayor, that reads weird, that the names of persons voted for at the election for mayor were Ruth Luvand, Emmett G. Badar. That the names of persons voted for at the election for member of city council are as follows: District 1, Eric Nakano, Brandon Moon. District 2, Ryan A. Viana.
That's reversed. District 2 should be Nakano.
District 2, Eric Nakano, Brandon Moon. District 4, Ryan A. Viana.
Yep.
That the number of votes given at each precinct and the number of votes given in the city to each of the persons above named for the respective offices for which the persons were candidates were as listed in Exhibit A attached. The City Council does declare and determine that Emmett G. Badar was elected as mayor for the full term of 2 years. Eric Nakano was elected as member of the City Council in District 2 for the full term of 4 years. And Ryan A. Viana was elected as member of the City Council in District 4 for the full term of 4 years. The city clerk shall enter on the records of the City Council of the city a statement of the results of the election showing 1, the whole number of ballots cast in the city; 2, the names of the persons voted for; 3, for what office each person was voted for; and 4, the number of votes given at each precinct to each person. Number 5, the total number of votes given to each person. That the city clerk shall immediately make and deliver to each of the persons so elected a certificate of election signed by the city clerk and authenticated. That the city clerk shall also administer to each person elected the oath of office prescribed in the Constitution of the State of California, and shall have them subscribe to it and file it in the office of the city clerk. Each and all of the persons so elected shall then be inducted into the respective office for which they have been elected. The city clerk shall certify to the passage and adoption of this resolution and enter it into the book of original resolutions. Passed, approved, and adopted this 12th day of July, 2022.
Mr. Mayor, I believe a motion is in order, and I would move that we adopt Resolution 2022-42 as read
Second.
by the city clerk.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Madam City Clerk?
I would like to call Mayor Emmett Badar to meet me at the flags for your oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Emmett Badar,
I, Emmett Badar,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will solemnly support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United
to the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of
and
California,
the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
discharge the duties of what I'm about to enter. Sorry.
Any comments on here? Next, Councilmember Vienna.
I was defending against enemies, foreign and domestic.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Ryan A. Vienna,
I, Ryan A. Vienna,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the State of California, to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Okay, hold on, that was a lie.
And that I will
And that I will well and faithfully
discharge
discharge the duties for which I am about to enter. You're welcome.
And next, we will have Councilmember-elect Eric McConnell. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Eric McConnell,
I, Eric Nakano,
do solemnly swear that
Do.
I will support
do solemnly swear that I will support
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties of which I am about to enter. Thank you.
The record will reflect that the oaths of office for Mayor Emmett Badar and City Council members Ryan Viana and Eric Nakano have been administered and signed. Mayor, at this time, I would like to request a recess so that we can change up the dais and seat the new council.
We'll take a quick recess. We will reconvene the San Dimas City Council meeting. Madam City Clerk, would you take the role of the new City Council?
Okay, this is going to take some getting used to. For now, I'm going in alphabetical order. Councilmember Ebner.
Here.
Councilmember Nakano.
Present.
Councilmember Vienna.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Weber.
Here.
Mayor Bedar.
Here.
Let the record reflect all council members are seated.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to ask each council member if they would have anything they'd like to say. We'll start off with Councilmember Nakano.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, for this honor. And
Turn your mic on. You'll get yelled at a few times.
right there. Okay, there we go. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak tonight. And good evening, City Council staff and residents. I'm honored to serve as the first City Council member representing the 2nd District. We have many challenges, but with those challenges come opportunities. In this chamber, we may come from different neighborhoods, districts, different backgrounds, and different belief systems. But we have one city and one community. Although my election was at times heated, and I recognize many voted for a different outcome, I pledge to do all I can to be a representative for all, those who voted for me, those who did not, those who reside in the 2nd District, and those who live elsewhere. I want to congratulate Mayor Bedar and Councilman Vienna on the re-elections, and salute Ruth Luvend and Brandon Moon, I think Brandon is in the audience, for stepping up, putting themselves in front of voters, and sharing their ideas to improve our city. With tonight's convening of our new City Council, we begin anew. Each of us brings to this chamber a commitment to service, shared values, and personal experiences. My path to the City Council began right here in San Dimas, where I was born and attended local public schools, Gladstone, Lone Hill, and Glendora High. My mom, a public school teacher in lower-income Los Angeles, and my dad, a nonprofit worker, moved to San Dimas because they wanted an affordable, safe community to be a part of and raise their family in. They were drawn to San Dimas for the same reasons many of us have made this community home. A big-hearted place where people feel safe, care about one another, listen to one another, and contribute to the common good. My parents, people of strong faith, and myself and others in this community taught me that public service was a noble calling and that we had a responsibility to give back and help those in need. My parents did the work of the angels, and now they are with them. I never forgot those lessons and how they lived with me when I moved away to go to college and decided to major in political science and public policy, and influenced my decision to work in the nonprofit sector after college. And when I decided to go to grad school, I opted to pursue a master's degree in public policy along with my MBA because I thought one day I might have the opportunity to take all that I've learned, all that my parents and San Dimas have invested in me, and give back. And so, here we are today. And thanks to voters, community leaders, and supporters, I now have the opportunity to do so and ensure that San Dimas remains a town that my parents fell in love with, a big-hearted place where people feel safe, care about one another, listen to one another, and contribute to the common good. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge the historical implications of tonight's meeting. I am the first person of color and the first LGBT person to serve on the City Council in the city. I did not run on this, but it is important nonetheless. And the reason why this is important is that growing up, I didn't see anyone that looked like me leading our town. And I wondered if leaders could truly understand my experience, those of the communities I am a part of and the things that mattered to me. It didn't occur to me back then that one day someone who looked like me could help lead this town. I hope that with my election, others, especially young people in this community and women, will see that this city embraces all of its residents, and that if you put yourself forward with integrity and a willingness to work hard, voters and leaders in this town will make a place for you at the table. Before I conclude my remarks, I want to thank my many advisors, volunteers, donors, and supporters for helping me get here tonight, many of whom are in the audience. I want to thank Dennis Bertone for his years of service to our city. I want to thank my parents and my family and friends for all that they sacrificed and taught me. And I want to thank my constituents for the privilege of representing them in city government. Finally, I want to share the spirit by which I intend to govern. St. Dismas is our city's namesake. In the book of Luke in the Bible, he was described as a thief who was being crucified alongside Jesus with another thief. As he hung on the cross dying, one of the thieves taunted Jesus along with the crowd, telling him, "Are you not the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But Dimas rebuked him, saying, "Have you no fear of God? We have been condemned justly for the sacrifice we received, for the sentence we received corresponds to our crimes. But this man has done nothing criminal." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus told him, "This day you will be with me in paradise." In the spirit of grace and forgiveness, of kindness and second chances, humility and reflection, and most importantly, of believing in a better tomorrow, I intend to work with all in our city. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here to speak, to listen, and to be a part of this community. I look forward to working with all of you in the years ahead.
It's going to be hard to follow this for the next 4 years.
No comment.
He gets to go first from now on. Congratulations, Eric, and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vina.
Dennis, thank you. And I blew my heart out last meeting, so I'm just going to say thank you and try and keep it together tonight. I want to take a moment. It's kind of difficult, but one, for those wondering, I'd love to say it was a shark attack or something really cool, but basically I made some poor dietary choices and I'm having a uric acid issue, so it's not a lot of fun for anyone that knows what that is. I was fortunate enough in this election to run unopposed, and I want to address that because there's some people in the community that thought I was moving to run away from a candidate that I never knew existed because no one actually had went and filed. And the truth is that my wife had basically said that if I was going to serve another term, that she needed to live in a single-family home. And the bottom line is we had lived in a condo for pretty much most of the time we had moved back to town, or I had moved back to town. And at some point, when we started talking about districts, then that was going to limit where anyone could buy. In fact, if Eric ever decides to move, or any of the council members decide to move, they actually will have to step down from their seat if they don't buy within that district. That was one of the catches to districts, unfortunately. And so anyone that's followed the housing market in this community, if you've looked, housing market here, there's not a lot of inventory. It's very difficult to find a home in this city, and it's very difficult to find an affordable home in this city, especially if you're a younger family. So I had a decision to make, which wasn't very hard, and that was to prioritize my wife and our happiness. And so we did that. We found a home, and we moved, and subsequently, the filing period for running opens at the same time. And we filed, candidates filed, and there was a race. And in fact, there are so many people in this community, and so many people of different walks of life that could run. And I was blessed in even the district that I moved to not to be opposed. And so I am very grateful to the voters. I'm very grateful. That district specifically, District 4, where I have been elected as the first council member in this newly formed district, happens to also be the district where I grew up. And so I am very humbled and happy to be home in the district where I grew up, home on the block where I grew up, and living in the community 7 houses or so away from my parents and around the neighbors that introduced me to my wife, and just really embody what San Dimas did for me, from growing up here in town to my neighbor and the village raising me, to being able to watch our community go through so many evolutions. And then who would know that the motorcycle deputy that would conduct traffic enforcement on Route 66 and would sit near the San Dimas Equestrian Center, who was Chris Blasnick at the time, who was a commander with the LA County Sheriff's Department when he retired. When I campaigned, there was a photo during my first campaign of me on a motorcycle. That was Chris Blasnick's motorcycle, as it turned out. And I found out later, and as many of you know, I work for the LA County Sheriff's Department. And so then it was kind of wild that my neighbor, who lives across from my parents, who was a deputy, introduced me to my wife when we were working in the jail shortly after I graduated the academy. And so I share all that to say that it has been a wild 5-year term, the first term, which was pretty different, not expected to get that bonus year with Dennis and the rest of the council here. But that being said, I appreciate two things. Councilmember Bertone, as he stepped down and his comments talked about working together. And I'm happy to hear Councilmember Nakano's willingness and the rest of council's willingness, I think, to work together, because that's what we need to do. It's not about individual agendas. We start anew here tonight, and I hope for the next 4 years, as we do the people's business, that we really do focus on what we need to be able to get things done for this community. There are a lot of challenges ahead. There's a lot of good things ahead, and I think at the end of it, we're going to be in good hands, and I look forward to it. I think we've got 5 good minds up here, good-hearted people, and I know we have a brilliant staff. So I want to thank my wife for standing by me for the last 5 years and through this last campaign cycle in the decision to run again. I want to thank my parents. I want to thank all my supporters, donors, members of the community, those of you who trust me to stand up here and represent you, not have to necessarily come here, but know I will toe the line and I will do the job that you've entrusted me to do. And I do that, as many of you know, and I appreciate your feedback and support. I do hope you guys would show up a little bit more sometimes, because texting and calling sometimes is cool too, but sometimes it is a lot lonely up here when you're fighting the fight alone sometimes, or with your colleagues, as they can say. But like any good HOA, as many of you know, if people generally don't show up, things must be going pretty good. And our attendance, this is a packed house tonight. Generally speaking, we're usually about maybe 10 to 15 people. So I think we're doing pretty good around here. I also want to thank my colleagues on the City Council for the first term. I think we did get a lot of things done. We saw through a new city manager, a new executive staff all the way around. We've seen enhancements in public safety, investments in public safety. We've done a lot of renovations with both parks and recreation investments in the urban forest, and we've done a lot of work. So there's more work to be done, and I look forward to tackling those challenges ahead. And lastly, I would be remiss not to thank my Lord and Savior. I am very grateful. I do believe that we all serve a purpose and answer a calling, and that's what I intend to do each and every day. So God bless each of you. Thank you for this opportunity, and let's get to it. Thank you.
I think time-wise, it was a tie, which is going to mean city council meetings are going to start going longer and longer, because now they both can talk. You know, we figured out the plan. The plan is every other Tuesday night we meet here for city council. We'll have cake, because we fill up the whole audience when we have cake. So that's what we'll start doing. Miss Deborah, would you? The reality is that we are extremely fortunate to live in the community that we live in. I'm fortunate to have my bride here, Pamela, my children, Robbie, Janelle, and Brianna, who've stood by me for a long time. Little did they know 30 plus years ago that when I went on the law enforcement committee, that I was I'd be sitting here tonight. And it has been a journey. But the reality is we have a lot of progress and a lot of work to do. I'm never going to be able to speak as these two fine gentlemen speak. I'm the guy that just says, let's put our head down and let's go forward. And I want to thank my, my supporters. The Crawfords are here, Patrick, Alta, people that have believed in me for the last 30 plus years. And I thank that very much. But more importantly than anything, okay, as far as I'm concerned, I couldn't be here without Pam. So Pam, please raise your hand, please. Okay. And I absolutely agree that this is a new start for this council. I mean, look at the people we've had before us. Dennis Bertone, all of those people, Kurt Morris. A lot of people refer to him as the mayor, the real mayor. Well, you know what? I'm glad to hear Kurt contingency tells me you're the mayor. So let's just make some difference and let's move forward. Jeff Templeman was here tonight, and it's always nice to have fellow councilmen who were before attend and do the things that we need to do. But I'm not going to compete with them, but thank you very much for being here, and let's go forward and have a great next 2 years, and maybe 4, maybe 6, maybe 8. But let's have the next. Let me get the next 2 years out of the way first. Okay. I want to thank you. I want to thank you all for being here this evening. What we're going to do is we're going to start the regular council meeting now. Oral communications, members of the audience are invited to address the city council on any item on this agenda or not on this agenda. Public comment will not be taken during each individual item except for the public hearing items. Comments on public hearing items will be heard when that item is scheduled for discussion. Under the provisions of the Brown Act, the legislative body is prohibited from engaging in discussion on any item not appearing on the posted agenda. However, your concerns may be referred to staff and set for discussion at a later date. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes. Anyone wishing, do you have speaker cards? Thank you.
First speaker is Gary Gillespie, speaking on sidewalks and U-turns.
Mr. Mayor and City Council, I want to applaud you on your reelection, and very happy to see you all back here. Last council meeting, there was a person who represented Charter Oak Mobile Home Estates, and I am truly ashamed of her testimony before this council, and I want to apologize for it. She does not represent all of the views of the residents of the park. The only concerns that I have right now is from our park entrance, we have a short piece of walkway on the northwest side of the street, and then there is what used to be the nursery next to us, and then beyond that the sidewalk continues. I leave at 7 or 7:30 to go to work, and to see people with walkers, with dogs, canes or whatever by themselves crossing from the driveway to the island and over to the sidewalk in front of the high school, because that gives them more length to walk on, is very dangerous. And it just scares me a lot of times to think of what could happen with these people. Also, the council voted, and it was very nice, that they put a U-turn sign out in front of our driveway so that the parents of the students and whatever don't make U-turns and block the driveway in the morning and in the afternoon. It's not working. The U-turn signs that are already on the street have times on them, certain times for the school drop-off and the school pickup, that I believe the people think that this sign is the same thing. If we put a little sign underneath that said anytime, I think that might help a little bit. But if they're going to make a U-turn, they're going to make a U-turn, no matter what. The Those are my only concerns right now. I congratulate the board, and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next.
Next speaker is Sylvia Melendez and Pam with the San Dimas Chamber.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sylvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm here to introduce you to our 2020-2023 Board Chair, Pam Zubiotti.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and audience. I would like to introduce myself, which Sylvia just did, and my name is Pam Zubiotti. I am the new chairman of the board for the San Dimas Chamber. I look forward to working with you all and advocating on behalf of the business owners and chamber members in San Dimas and collaborate with the city as needed. I'm a longtime resident of San Dimas and a business owner as well. With the city now open and recovering from the closure due to COVID, I'm excited to see how we can all work together and have a great year. I hope to see you all at future ribbon cuttings, mixers, and events in support of the San Dimas Chamber. Thank you for your time.
Mayor, those are all the speaker cards that have been turned in.
Anyone else wishing to speak to the council?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and councilmen. I want to address the U-turn signs in front of Charter Oak Mobile Home Estates. I know that there's problems, but we are in contact, some of us, with the superintendent of the Bonita Unified School District. We're setting up a task force with them, and we're coming up with a game plan to address the U-turns to see if we can resolve this issue. So I wanted you to know that it is in process. It's just the superintendent is on vacation, and as soon as he gets back, we will be moving forward on trying to come up with a game plan so when school starts up again in the fall or at the end of the summer, that hopefully we can move forward to getting communication out to the parents not to make the U-turns, because it's not just the parents of the school. We actually have school buses that are now coming into the park, going around the park and going back out. So it is a concern, but it is being addressed by the superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak to the council?
Good evening, Council. On behalf of my mother, Ellen Kranzer, and the Kranzer family, congratulations to Eric Nakano. Congratulations, Mayor Badar. It was a very split household. We had lively debates, but my mother wanted to make sure that she congratulates you, and she looks forward to this new opportunity for working together on the council. As we saw with the campaign, there were desires to make it a campaign that was, above board, a positive campaign, but toward the end there was a mailer that went out that a lot of the people in the community really were aghast at. And unfortunately, the items in that mailer were inspired by rhetoric that came from this council, one particular council member in particular, not only here but at a candidates forum. So it's important that when we talk about, when we had the days of dialogue, I mentioned that dialogue is important, but action is better. So we have to make sure that this is a fresh start. We have to make sure that we are kinder and we gentler. We have to make sure that we listen to each other. We have to make sure that we don't cut people down. We don't character assassinate people who want to volunteer in the city. We want to make sure that we practice the First Amendment, but not hide behind it. Make sure that we use it responsibly. And I know with Eric and John, I appreciate your working together, even though there has been instances where some council members say, John, that you don't work together. But I appreciate that you do, because if you are the person on the opposite end of an issue, and the person says, hey, you don't work together with people, you don't compromise, you're sticking to what you feel is right for the city, and I appreciate that. So again, on behalf of the Kranzer family, congratulations to all the elected officials. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak towards the council? Seeing none, we'll move to the consent calendar. All items on the consent calendar is considered to be routine and will be enacted with one motion unless a member of the City Council requests separate discussion.
So moved.
Second.
Any conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. At this point, other business, we are going to table the discussion of ordinance relating to Senate Bill 9. It'll be tabled till the next council meeting. Any problems with that?
Nope.
Now we're going to move right back to something else we hadn't had in a while, oral communications. Members of the audience or speakers that are limited to 3 minutes or as may be determined by the chair. Anyone have anything who didn't say it the last few minutes, want to say it again? Seeing none, we'll go to staff and city council reports. City manager.
I will keep it short and just do a couple updates on the Gold Line. San Dimas Canyon Road is targeted to reopen Wednesday, July 20th, which is 2 months earlier than the October 21st date. And then Walnut Avenue will be closed for northbound traffic for a period of 2 weeks to complete the installation of the median on both sides of the tracks. This work is scheduled for the beginning of August. It's currently scheduled to begin around August 2nd. And I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. City Attorney?
My only item tonight, Mr. Mayor, is just welcome Councilmember Nakano to the City Council. I look forward to working with you and the rest of the council. Congratulations to all three of the council members that were successful in the last election.
Members of the City Council, we need to talk about an appointment to Mayor Pro Tem.
I would move that Councilmember Ebner is Mayor Pro Tem. I believe he's up in the cycle, as I recall.
Second.
Any conversation? John, you want to deny it?
Are we going to take a ton of pictures over there by the flag?
Well,
No, we're not.
any discussion? All in favor of Councilman Ebner assuming the role of Mayor Pro Tem?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations, John.
Thank you. Emmett, you never miss a meeting, so I'm probably never going to get to do much, but thank you
Won't be
very
here next week. I have a sock drawer to worry about.
You may have to sing happy birthday at community
Right,
events.
that you
so
might have to do.
That's
just
about that.
fair warning.
August 6th, you have the happy birthday song.
God.
Okay. Council member reports and meetings attended at the expense of the local agency. Seeing none. You got any? Okay. Okay. City Council requests for future items, comments, and updates. Eric. Eric.
This is going to be real confusing. We got to get this straight now. Which one? Me?
You.
Oh, I get to go. Okay. Well, that's good. I get a chance to talk. Well, I will keep with my previous tradition of not talking much and keep it short. So I just want to say congratulations to Mayor Badar. And just a side note, when you say that you couldn't be where you're at right now without your wife, I know that to be true because I've tasted her home cooking, and I know that you probably wouldn't be alive if she didn't feed you because that food is amazing. But more seriously, over the past 2 years, I think the city has faced some challenges that were extremely unforeseen and were unprecedented. And I think your leadership over the past couple of years has really been key for us to clear those hurdles that have been put in front of us. And so I just want to thank you for your leadership in that regard. Congratulations to Councilmember Vienna on your reelection. Congratulations to Councilmember Nakano on your election. I think I've learned a few things over the last 2 years, probably not as much as I would have liked, but it's like drinking out of a fire hose. But the one thing that I did learn is that there's no shortage of hard work for us to do up here and tough decisions to make. So I know that we will all continue to work earnestly to keep San Dimas what it is that we love, and that's just a wonderful place to live. And Dennis, congratulations. Thank you so much for all of your years of hard work. There's very few people in San Dimas that can say that their hard work so directly correlates to why San Dimas is such a great place to be. But you can, and that's a really special place for people to be. So you should be very proud of all the work that you put in for the past 34 years, and your, like I said, your hard work shows. And on a side note, I know you're going to continue to be a staple in the community. I don't think you're going to disappear anytime soon. And your thoughts on the issues of the day are always welcome, and you'll always have my ear. So thank you.
John?
Well, I'll just start by saying thank you, Dennis. And we made some comments last time, but I truly believe, as Eric does, that Dennis has had an impact on the community, has really made San Dimas has helped make San Dimas the way it is. But in all the years I've known Dennis, I've appreciated his mentorship, his thoughts. I feel that he is a kind and caring person, and that means a lot. And it's shown on the dais here and in leading the city over the past 34 years. I want to congratulate those who are elected in this election. Mr. Mayor Emmett, congratulations. Ryan, congratulations on your reelection. And I want to congratulate Eric Nakano on his election to the City Council. I want to also thank all those who put their names forward. There were a couple other candidates, and it takes a lot, actually, to throw your hat in the ring and be serious about it, which I feel that all the candidates were, including those who did not, get a majority of the votes. And that really says something. It's hard to put your name forward, and everybody put their hearts into their campaigns. Eric Nakano, I'm going to have to get used to Eric Nakano. Okay, Eric Nakano, I thought your campaign was one of the best I'd ever seen. In speaking with you and seeing the kind of campaign you ran, it's hard to top the effort and the kind of work that you put into it. So congratulations on that. I also just want to thank all the people who voted. We got a pretty good turnout, and that was in some measure anyway due to the candidates all getting out there and encouraging people to vote. I believe that all of you and everybody on the council wants to do what's best for the city of San Dimas, and that's why we're here. We may not always disagree, but just like any kind of board of directors of a company or a nonprofit, name anyone, or city council or government, and the team that we are, which includes the staff and the public telling us what they think about things, it's a team effort, and you get a lot of different ideas. We may not always agree on all the ideas, but it's a good thing to air them and to try to compromise. And sometimes you just can't do it, and we've all been in that boat where we say we just can't go that far. That doesn't mean that you don't care, and like I always say, once we make a decision, we move forward. That's what the council has decided, and we just we try to make the city the best it can possibly be. And I think that's what we're all here to do. We all believe in that. And so congratulations again to the three of you who got elected and reelected.
Thank you, John. Ryan?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, again, congratulations, Councilmember Nakano. Mayor, I have to agree with Councilmember Weber's comments. I think that the last 2 years since your tutelage, you brought with you a pandemic and a plague and a whole bunch of other stuff, but we made it. And it's kind of interesting. Last time we did the oath of office, Councilmember Weber was like sworn in cover of darkness. I mean, we were shut down. He didn't have a council meeting with members of the public attending for, I don't know, almost 6 months of your term, maybe a year. It was almost a year of your first term. Yeah, that's wild. So how far we've come to where we are today. Many blessings. I think I agree with Councilmember Ebner. I think congratulations and no shame or anything for the candidates who are not successful. I think I really applaud you because, as Councilmember Ebner said, it takes a lot for a candidate to put their name on the ballot. It takes a lot to make the decision to be vulnerable, but to do it because you believe in something, because you want to do something for this community, you want to be a part of something, and you should. And every candidate, and I have always and continue to answer the phone for anybody that wants to chat, and I even did for all of the candidates in this particular election who did call me. So that being said, I look forward to working together over the course of the next 4 years. Emmett, 4 years, just so you got that. But needless to say, I think that we're going to do great things because we do. And everyone that sat up here before us, although Dennis has sat up here since I was 4 years old, so it's a household name at this point, it seems. And it's been hard, and I just want to touch on that for a second. That Kurt sat up here, and now Dennis. I mean, since I was a youngster in the city, this is very difficult to see, but I think it's worth pointing out in terms of the history of our community. The community has benefited from long, steady governance from its electeds. And I think that shows in the planning and the thoughtfulness that has occurred with the reserves. It shows with what's happened in a lot of the arrangements, the mobile home parks, the creativeness with the utilization of zoning in certain areas to be able to meet certain requirements as laws have changed, and our partnerships with the school district as well as with other entities to be able to facilitate what we need to make San Dimas the place that it is, the place that people know, the place that people love. So I look forward to working together to continue that tradition. I look forward to working together with the rest of you. And while we may not always agree, or we may agree to disagree, I know at the end of the day, whatever decision we end up making is the right one for our city. So I look forward to it, and I also pray for some relief for my right foot, and that is where I'm at this point. Thank you.
To beat him, you got 8 minutes and 12 seconds.
You'll be pleased to know that I actually have no further remarks. So thank you, everybody, and thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council, for having me today.
Thank you, sir. Had a conversation last night with, or yesterday afternoon with Councilmember Nakano. He said, well, how do we really pronounce, what do we do? Do we say Councilmember Weber, Councilmember Vienna, Councilmember Ebner, Mayor Badar? And I said, you know what, we're pretty informal. Sometimes it comes out, a title, and sometimes when you just look at each other and you know that you want to talk, and you say, okay, Eric, and whatever. I appreciated the question, but the reality is we're a family, we're a team. And we all have to start getting to that position. We have a community that is our family, and we can't do anything without their partnership. So I just want to say thank you for allowing us to serve you, the community. I met a couple of new people during this campaign. I never knew Brandon Moon, and I never knew Ruth Levant. But I now met them, and they're a part of the family that we can place names and faces onto. And I hope to continue meeting other people who realize that we got a great city. Okay, we all can make it better. Dennis and I served on this council for 16 years, 15 and a half, 16 years. And I was on vacation just recently, and he couldn't wait to get home. And the reality was, the day before it was time to come home, I was trying to figure out how to stay a couple more days. So the reality is, I look at that same thing with Dennis. Dennis and I have been talking about going to lunch for 15 years. Just this last year, Dennis and I started going to lunch every few weeks, okay? And I'm lucky that now Dennis can't say, I got to stay home and read the agenda package or something, and we can go out to lunch and enjoy life. But we all owe Dennis a great debt. This city is here because of people like him. Dennis, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to lunch week after next. Okay? Okay, we're going to go into a closed session. The successor agency and the city council will have a closed session over real property. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second? Closed. Thank you. Thank you all for coming tonight. I realize, and I do doubt that we're going to have cake every other week.
Might be ice cream.